Welcome back to Yogaxpress, your virtual stretch clinic that helps you move the body to still the mind. My name is Banu Suresh. I'm your host for this program. To my extreme left, you have a face that's fairly familiar by now. Sandy Kane has been in about 6 or 7 episodes before, and she is crazy. She does a lot of crazy things, and she loves what she does, and that's why it's a kind of a happy crazy. So I'm delighted to present Sandy Kane once more. Sandy, you had some kind of a music CD that you wanted to share with our viewers.
And I just
What's
want
it
to
called?
say that, Banu, that if it wasn't for yoga and exercise, I could never do this. I would never have the energy to do the Sandy Kane, the naked cowgirl from America's Got Talent, with Nick Cannon and all these 3 judges that didn't like me too much. But anyway, I made it to 2 shows. I have my new CD on iTunes called I Love Nick for Nick Cannon. And I'm so excited to be here on your show again to promote it. It's a great CD. It's me with Nick Cannon, that hot man, very nice man. Mariah Carey did well. He's married to
We're
Mariah.
not really allowed to say how much it costs or where exactly it's available, but is it available online and in bookstores or
It's on iTunes.
on iTunes? Oh, that's okay then, because iTunes is not. Is it a commercial?
Well, it could be,
website?
but no one has ever bought me. So anyway, it's been 100 years. But I think this one is really, since it's Nick Cannon and from America's Got Talent,
Okay.
maybe people would love to hear the Nick Cannon I Love
Welcome
Nick
back
song.
to the show. Sandy, show me your nail polish. What is that? My God, you really are crazy. That's beautiful. It's really
It'd be
nice.
crazy to be
No,
on
that's
TV.
crazy
I'm on
beautiful.
television, man. Television is the greatest media
That's
in the
right.
world.
That's true.
Thank God for TV.
Looks very colorful, very happy. I guess a lot like you.
Yeah,
very
well,
happy
you can get this
person.
right for $1, and you're not supposed to say money, but it's very inexpensive.
Oh no, you're not selling the product, so that's okay.
Yeah,
you
it's
can say you got it for $1.
this is $1 for the. You can just put nail polish and just throw that on. It's great polish.
Welcome back.
Oh, thank you.
You and your
Thank
nail
you for
polish are
inviting
welcome
me.
to the show anytime.
Thanks to Josiane and you inviting me. I'm so honored to
Pleasure.
be here.
Pleasure to have you back, Sandy. Hiding here in the shadows, we have, let me get your name, Lana Parr. Lana, I'm sure you're not just here for the physiotherapy aspect. I'm sure you have your own set of interests and passions. Are you passionate or were you passionate about anything else in your younger years?
I used to be
About what?
figure skating.
Figure skating.
Ah.
You know, next time you come, you should bring a picture of you. Have you got any pictures of you?
I think so. It's
don't have
a long,
them.
long time ago.
Where? How long did you practice that? Or did you go into any contests?
When I was a child, when I was in England, my
Right.
sister and I did skating.
You sound very English the way
I
you
am.
speak. You are English. Well,
I
welcome
can't get
back.
rid of it.
You don't have to. You don't have to. It's beautiful. It's lovely to hear someone.
you.
Every now and then, it's beautiful to hear a different accent, including myself. I always get told, "Are you from India?" I said, "Good." So someone recognizes me because
well,
we
it's
have
not
our
Brooklyn.
accent is our flavor. Yeah, I actually taught ESL for a long time, and people could tell immediately. And they said, "Don't you want to get rid of your accent? There are accent reduction and accent reduction courses." I said, "No, I'm happy the way I am. I don't want to pretend to be who I'm not." You know, think about it, Sandy. You go to a restaurant, you order fish, and you get fish, not chicken. Do you care about your accent or your pronunciation? I can be
As long as you
understood,
speak
right?
English, and
That's
I think
right.
that yoga and being from India goes perfect together.
Right. Accent and all, right?
Yes.
Welcome
It's a
back to the
national
show.
pastime, isn't it? in India?
You mean yoga itself? You know what? Everyone thinks that when I was teaching, I have to just point this out very quickly. When I was teaching ESL, people would say, "No, you're not a native English speaker, so you shouldn't be teaching English." I didn't know anything about yoga then, but they were willing to accept me as a yoga teacher. So nothing against people who practice yoga or people who come from India necessarily don't have to be very, experienced in yoga. But it's just an accepted form in India. You just practice at home, you never talk about it. It's not a formal practice as it is in North America. But not everybody really knows. Now, the tradition has broken off, so not everyone knows how to do the proper breathing
Well,
methods.
I wish I had started earlier, I wish I had. This is
You
my
and me
first-
both.
Right, everybody,
Right, you're right though, because there are certain techniques you
Out of
learn
the
in
womb.
yoga which really make life
Right.
much more useful. Talking about that, I'm going to save my special guest to the last. Talking about techniques and the benefits of yoga, I'd like to introduce Michele Risa to my extreme right. Michele is a yoga teacher, yoga trainer. I don't know, how would I address you, Michele?
I teach Kundalini Yoga, and
Right.
I'm also a health consultant.
Okay, and Michele, you have a website too, right?
Yes, beyondbodymindspirit.com. So it's 4 words,
Beyond-
www.beyondbodymindspirit.com.
Look up Michele. Michele is also producer here at Manhattan Neighborhood Network. What is your show called, Michele?
Beyond Body, Mind, Spirit.
Hey,
Patented.
that's right.
Can I just say one thing? Once
Sure.
you trademark, once you put it on television, like your
It is a kind of a
quiet
trademark.
your mind, it is a trademark.
Yes.
Because I remember years ago when I had a record out and it was printed, then that is a certain trademark.
Yes,
Copyright.
and in fact, the patent office actually allows you to use that. They say, when was it first used? So yes, to move on from the discussions, to take off on the discussion that we had before we started taping today, it is a kind of a trademarking your line. If
Yes.
you have a tagline, putting it on TV.
Yeah, you'd be on TV.
Yes.
You got it.
So at least
you don't
people
need that
cannot
lawyer
say
for
that it's not.
$5,000.
No, that's right. We don't want to pay too much money. Michele, what time does your show air?
It's on Tuesdays at about 8 o'clock.
Tuesdays, 8 p.m.?
But every Tuesday, it's the 3rd Tuesday of every month. It's a monthly show.
Okay, so every third Tuesday, 8 p.m.?
Yes.
8 p.m., you can listen to Michele Beyond Body, Mind, Spirit.
Correct.
And what channels? Okay, look Michele up. You can also go to
think it's 57.
mnn.org.
That might be
Channel
right.
57, that's the same as
I think
ours
it's-
because that's the
yeah.
Spirit channel.
I think so.
Spirit.
So
Okay.
I have my new show too,
And-
the Naked Cowgirl TV show.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll come back to that.
Huh?
I'd love to watch
And so I just
Oh,
want to say,
great.
if people,
I'm-
all of that information is on our
I'm-
website, so they can go
Sorry, I missed
to the
one.
website, and all of that is there.
Right.
I
So
love that
those of
program,
you-
know.
Oh,
I
good.
must have missed
We're
that
on
one.
air, sweetie.
Okay.
We're on air. So no, that's all right. I want you to listen so that you can also help with our viewers. I want all of us also to visit Michele's website, and we're going to come to Sandy's in a moment. Sandy's show as well. Michele is on 8 p.m. every first Tuesday, every third Tuesday in the month. So it's a monthly show. And Michele, you have promised off air. You've promised to come on our show as a special guest to share what you know with our viewers.
happy to.
We'd love to have you back. Sandy, you said you had a show called.
Well, I
Naked
had a
Cowgirl?
few that aired. I was on public access for 13 years, by the way. Sandy Kane, a blue comedy show. And now it's a new show that I did a few shows, Sandy Kane's Naked Cowgirl show. And I'm going to be taping my next show the 24th of this month. So
Okay.
and
We're going to save some of that for tomorrow's episode because we would like you to come back. And we will talk a little more about what channels and what times
oh,
you air
great.
as
So
well.
I don't know yet, but we have 34.
Right.
We have 56, 57, and 67. Great numbers
Okay.
for our channels,
You should
right?
get a lotto ticket. We have Lana. I just want to ask you very quickly. When you talked about, and I would like, if you don't mind, give it some thought. When you come back tomorrow, we hope you'll be back. We'd like you to tell us a little more about your figure skating days and tell us a little more about yourself so our viewers get to know you as well. Is that okay with you? You're willing to share something about yourself? Because we have not had you on the show before, and I like to introduce all my participants.
Well, I just came to visit today, you know.
Oh, that's all right. I know. I dragged you on the mat, but I really appreciate it. So thank you for staying. Thank you for staying. Now for the big moment that everyone's been waiting for. Mona Chopra. Mona, you almost hypnotized us yesterday and me into thinking I could go all the way around like the Jetsons. Was it the Jetsons? I call myself a churro. What do you have planned for us today?
Well, just picking up on the whole discussion about hypnosis and the power of the mind, because I am also, as you know, an acupuncturist and was here on your show a while back
Yes.
talking about that, I would like to share with all of you today, as well as the viewers, a technique that really brings together some of the concepts from Chinese medicine and acupuncture with hypnosis. So it's a tool that can be used for self-hypnosis.
Do you have your little kit over here?
I do
Okay.
have my tools. But I won't, for this technique that I'm going to show, I don't need any,
Oh,
there's
I
no
see. Okay.
acupuncture needles that are
Okay.
required at all. It just requires talking and tapping on different acupuncture points.
Oh, okay.
And it's a powerful technique. It's known as emotional freedom technique. And from the time that I learned it, and I was a bit skeptical, I must say, like, how could something so simple be effective?
Be so effective, yeah.
But I pretty much teach it to just about everyone who comes through the door because it's something that they can do in addition to whatever else they're doing to help with a whole variety of ailments. Everything from do you have a headache to are you feeling fearful of this to do you get angry every time you see this
Right.
to, you know, are you having menstrual cramps? Like for
Nauseous.
pretty
So
much all
while
things.
you're demoing on Lana,
Yes.
we're going to be tapping away?
Well, yes.
Or you're going to
yes.
hypnotize us into
I am-
thinking we're getting the benefits?
Well, it's interesting. There is always sometimes a collective,
Right.
you know,
Okay.
effect. But I'm going to be focused on what Lana's issue is, and I'm going to be working with her, and I'm actually going to tap the points on her. But while I'm doing that, as a way of learning it, everyone here can also tap those points,
lead the
and
way.
then at
Yeah.
home, you know, you
Get
can
the
work on your
benefits.
own.
Great.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
and
wonderful.
And sometimes I have found just the collective healing effect of if everyone in the room is tapping and actually focused on, in this case, Lana and her issue, working, it is even more potent. You know.
Fantastic, Lana. We're with you. Are you ready to be experimented on?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, what would you like Lana to do? Should we bring the
Okay,
chair over there?
Sure. So let's.
Or
I
can she sit on the
I
floor?
can do it without a chair too.
The chair is good. It's better to be in the
It's
chair.
better. The only issue, Josiane, is it okay to bring the chair in the front because it might? Oh, okay. I'll
just
move to
a
the
little bit
side.
further
Yeah,
on
I'll
that.
move to the side. That's fine. All right. So
You
she doesn't
tell
have
me
to come on the
where-
red mat, right? No, as long as she's
it
not
doesn't-
right in front of all of us,
Yeah.
we'll spread out. Is that good?
Okay, sure.
Because she's
And
right
then
there,
I'm gonna
literally
have
in
to
the spotlight.
stand on one. Sorry, I don't want to.
Sure.
No, no, that's fine. She, you can come here, Sandy.
Yeah, that would be.
Come on this way.
Do you want me to sit?
Yeah. Okay. So, Lana, first I just wanted to ask you, this technique that I'm about to demonstrate and show you and teach you really so that you can do it on your own at home can be used to change so many different things, as I was mentioning. So I know you mentioned before you have a fear, you also have some pains. What issue would you like to work on for the purpose of this demonstration today?
Something to relax me more. You know.
Okay, so it will definitely, regardless of what specific issue we work on, it will relax you. But I want you to think of something really specific. So for example, I'm just going to give an example, you know, a headache, or for example, fear of flying or fear of falling, or for example, addiction to cigarettes. Those are just some examples. So do you have something really specific you would like to work on? An emotional state you want to change, a habit you want to change?
Well, I mentioned that I don't sleep very well.
Okay.
I don't know if you can do anything about that.
Okay, so let me ask you this. When you think about the fact that you don't sleep so well, how does it make you feel?
When I talk about it, you mean?
Yeah, when you just think about the fact that you have been having a difficult time sleeping, how does that make you feel?
Well, I think to myself there must be something I can do about it, you know, and I put it also to the fact that I have this Parkinson's, you know,
Right.
and there must be something else I can be doing, you know, that's
Okay.
more helpful to me, you know.
Okay. So when you think about it, does it make you feel, do you feel optimistic? Do you feel depressed about it?
I feel
Do you
frustrated.
Frustrated. Okay.
Very frustrated.
Okay, so right now I just want you to tune into this situation where you've been having trouble sleeping and you're feeling frustrated about it, and on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being the most frustrated you could ever imagine yourself being and 0 being you're not frustrated at all, where right now at this moment when you think about this difficulty you've been having sleeping, how frustrated on a 1 to 10 scale are you?
I would say a 5 or 6.
5 or 6. Okay. All right, so we're just going to get started. So I'm going to tap on different points on your body while I'm going to ask you to repeat certain phrases. So just to explain briefly, the basic concept here is that what I'm going to have Lana do is repeat the actual thing that she's experiencing that she wants to change, so the frustration over not being able to sleep, along with this statement that is actually pretty much verbatim. So for example, even though I have this frustration and have been having difficulty sleeping, I completely and fully love and accept myself, and I'm ready to let it go. This is the phrase that is said after you say whatever, even though I have this headache, even though I have this fear of falling in the headstand, whatever it is you say, you repeat this phrase, which, for some New Yorkers, that's like a little hard thing to say, like, love myself, come on, Mona. It's a little hokey, but,
I don't actually at the moment.
You don't actually?
I don't love myself
Okay.
too much,
So this
But we
will
love
be-
you, so
It
that's
comes
going
out
to
of
change.
frustration,
So this will be a powerful technique for you because I'm going to ask you to just say it even if you don't believe it. And the more you say it, you might begin to notice how something in you shifts where a little door begins to open up to the possibility that you might begin to feel more self-love. So I think this particular technique actually would be really, really good for you. And just to explain a little bit, how does it work? One idea is that everything that we go through leaves an energetic imprint on the body. And by tapping on these points, we're clearing the energetic imprint that thing has had on the body. And by saying these certain sentences instead of resisting it, right? Because usually, why do we suffer? It's like we have a headache, but then we're like, and I have a freaking headache. You feel sad, and you're like, now I'm getting sad again. It's like, if we could just accept, like, so I'm sad, it will probably pass, actually. If we can feel the headache as just sensation, that's different. The possibility for it to shift is much greater. So here we go. I'm taking too much time.
No,
Okay.
that's fine.
It's really
Okay.
interesting.
All right, so I'm just going to ask you to repeat the sentences that I say, okay?
I hope I can remember them.
Okay, so, and then if you don't remember them, that's a whole other thing that we'll do. So I'm just going to begin by tapping on this point here, and you all can tap it too. From the technique world of emotional freedom technique, they call it the karate chop point. From Chinese medicine, I call it small intestine 3, but you're just going to tap away at this
Any
point.
particular rhythm?
And just tap, 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 tap. It could even be a little faster than that. Yeah, that's fine, but not too fast. Tap, 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 tap. So here we go. And you could close your eyes if you want. You might feel more relaxed. Yeah. And just take a deep, deep breath in as you're tapping here. Exhale, let that go. And just know you're opening up the possibility now to change and to let go of those old ideas and patterns and habits. So Lana, you're going to just repeat after me. Even though I haven't been able to sleep, and I feel really frustrated about that, I completely and fully love and accept myself. And I am ready to let it go. This frustration, this difficulty sleeping, even though I've had this frustration and this difficulty sleeping, I completely and fully love and accept myself. And I'm ready to let it go. This frustration, this insomnia, that I worry at times if it's related to the Parkinson's. Even though I've been having this, I completely and fully love and accept myself. And I'm ready to let it go. This frustration that doesn't serve me. It's not helping the situation. It's not who I am. And I'm ready to let it go. This frustration, this difficulty sleeping, it doesn't represent me. But even though I've been having it, I completely and fully love and accept myself. And I'm ready to let it go. This frustration and difficulty sleeping, that maybe has more to do with my fears over this Parkinson's than anything else.
heaviness.
which is totally normal and human to feel.
Totally normal and human to feel.
Because I'm a human being,
Because I'm a human being.
and we do live in our body.
We do live in our body.
So any kind of ailment like this
Any kind of ailment like this
would make anyone feel afraid.
doesn't make anyone feel afraid.
That fear is not serving me.
That my fear is not serving me.
And I'm ready
And I'm ready
to let it go.
to let it go.
And I completely and fully
I completely and fully
love and accept myself.
love and accept myself.
And I'm ready
And I'm ready
to let it go.
to let it go.
This frustration of
This frustration.
It's not who I am.
It's not who I am.
And I'm ready
And I'm ready
to let it go.
to let it go.
This frustration.
This frustration.
This difficulty sleeping.
On your chest.
Even though I've been having that. I completely and fully
I completely and fully
love and accept myself.
love and accept myself.
And all that comes along with that.
All that comes along.
And I'm ready
And I am ready
to let it go.
to let it go.
I'm so ready
I'm so ready
to let it go.
to let it go.
This frustration.
This frustration
It's not serving me.
is not serving me.
And just like I'll take off an old pair of clothes.
I'll take off an old pair of clothes.
I'm gonna take off this old way of being.
Take off this old way of being.
And I completely and fully
And I completely and fully
love and accept myself.
love and accept myself.
And I am ready
And I am ready
to let it go.
to let it go.
This frustration.
This frustration.
Not being able to sleep.
Not being able to sleep.
I am so ready
I am so ready
to let it go.
to let it go. To let it go.
This frustration.
This frustration.
For not being able to sleep.
Not being able to sleep.
And this laying in bed at night.
Top part of your body.
Something holding me back.
Is simply holding me back.
I'm slipping into rest.
I'm slipping to rest.
It's not for me.
It's not for me anymore.
And I'm ready.
And I'm ready.
So ready
So ready
to let it go.
to let it go.
Even though I've been suffering from this sleeplessness for a long time.
Even though I've been suffering from this sleeplessness for a long time.
Feeling really frustrated about it.
Feeling really frustrated about it.
I completely and fully.
I completely and freely
I completely and fully love and accept myself.
love and accept myself.
And I am ready.
And I am ready.
I am so ready
I am so ready
to let this go.
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 Now take a deep, deep, deep breath in. Tune into the vibrations in your body. Tune into what you're feeling. Notice what you're feeling. And now you can open up your eyes, Lana. You have a tissue. Don't have a tissue.
No, if you. Oh, we were going to ask you some questions. That was Josiane. If you can get a close up with Lana's permission.
I just need a
Tissue. Sure. I'll get you one. Go ahead. We were going to ask. I wanted to ask you about the points that you tapped. So could you start off with that? I'm not sure.
Well, Lana, just to finish up, I want to ask you now. I know that was really emotional for you and it brought up a lot. So just take a breath, just be with it.
This is embarrassing.
It's okay. You're human. It's honest. And what I want you to do, Lana, is to just tune in for a moment to where you started out on that 1 to 10 scale of feeling frustrated about this difficulty sleeping, which was the issue you identified in the beginning. And just, I know it's brought up a lot of emotion.
More than just the sleep.
More than just the sleeplessness. And when you think about the frustration right now, how does that even feel? Or is that even an issue for you right now?
No, it's just that why me, what is
Mona, we have about 3 minutes. I wanted to ask you the points that you tapped,
Yeah.
just so our viewers can also understand. How did, wherever you tapped, obviously made it so effective that Lana, actually breaks down. What are those points? What do they signify?
Well, they are points, key points on the body that actually address almost every channel in the body. So it's like one point that will tap into each and every one of the points in the body. So this point here that we start with opens up what's called the governing vessel, which is the spine channel. And then we come to the top of the head here, which is actually a really good point for you too, in general, just in terms of the changes that we talked about before the show in your walking posture, your posture coming along with the Parkinson's. So this would be a really good point for you. And it addresses that whole, the spine, which we know, and from yoga, it's powerful. And then it's coming to each and every one of the channels, one point that corresponds to each and every one. So it's really covering all the bases.
So you're basically tapping on each of these channels to awaken them?
Yes.
Something opening up inside of Lana at the moment
Exactly,
during your treatment.
exactly. And some people experience it as a clearing. And so it's like what had felt so strong before was not so strong. And in other cases, it opens up, it can open up a whole Pandora's box where there's a lot of deeper issues underlying what seems like a minor, I'm afraid of elevators, and then it comes out, actually there was a trauma, and then that opens up. But it's like dealing with that, then we can actually get past it if we open up
I
to
believe
it.
myself it's more than just the not being able to sleep.
Yes, I do too. I do too. So
Once we identify the root of the problem,
yes.
the sleep happens naturally. She will be able to overcome the result.
Right.
So once you take care of the cause, then the symptom you can get past the symptoms. Is that how this works?
Right, yes. And I mean, you don't always need to actually get to the cause. That's one of the things I love about this technique is, why, you can spend 20 years in therapy to why am I this way? But this technique often can just clear stuff out. Clearly with Lana, we would need to do some more work. So after this, I would go through another, so what has come up now? And then we would actually tap on that and just get to, so maybe actually there's sadness or the why me. And then actually that would be the next stage to tap on that. And then there are a whole arsenal of other techniques that I would use now that this has come up in a case like in Lana's case. So
You brought up, this was an amazing technique you used. I'd like our viewers to get in touch with Mona. Mona has a website. Please, would you like to mention your website? We have about a minute, so we'd like to
Okay.
plug your website in.
Okay, it's www.peopletreewellness.com. So people as in human beings, P-E-O-P-L-E, trees, T-R-E-E, wellness.com, peopletreewellness.com.
It's up on the screen. If you notice the bottom left of your screen, you have Mona's contact, her website, and her telephone number. Get in touch with Mona if you want to experience what we experience in the studios right now. In fact, through Lana, the three of us over here, Michele, Risa, Sandy, Kane, and myself, we experienced not exactly what she was going through emotionally, but we experienced the process.